Hello and welcome. Today we're going to take a look at the Mini Disney Castle, which is set number 40478, and it has 567 bricks, I do believe. Now, I wasn't going to do this until the room had all been sorted out, but this is now on a huge back order. So what we'll do, as normal, we'll check out the box artwork, get it ripped open, take a look at the instruction manual, get the thing built, obviously then do a comparison, and then we'll actually get it placed in the Lego room, because we have got one or two ideas, maybe to add it into our superhero display, with Mickey Mouse taking quite a bit of money. Right, I've got it opened up. Let's take a look at the inside and see exactly what's what. So we have got bag 3, bag 1, and some other bits and pieces as well. So the instruction booklet is a short, stubby one, so we'll go through that in greater detail in a second. With regards to the bags, there are no I'm lying, there are 2 4s, 2 3s, 1 1 and 1 2, but first thing first, we'll start with the box artwork. Moving on to the box artwork, as you can see, it's actually a cut, not a push tab, so nothing will get damaged if you want to keep the box mint, if you are a collector of these, especially as it's a 50th anniversary. But you can see it's a 12 plus set number 40478, and I think the detail on the front of this does look very, very smart. And the minifigure itself, I think, looks quite cool as well, so it's quite a nice looking thing. There, by the looks of it, is not a sticker sheet, so hopefully there will be all prints on here, so I'm just assuming that. Obviously I'll keep you up to date as we go, and obviously we will have a good look at the booklet in a second, so that'll soon give it away. But with regards to the height and everything like that, this is 21 centimeters or 8 inches high. It's 14 centimeters or 5.5 inches width, so I'm assuming that that thing there is the only thing, which is obviously the big clock, and it is not a print, it will be a tile, and that is what it looked like. I do believe that might also be taken from Florida before they repainted the castle, but obviously this is currently in Disneyland Paris and everything. You can see how they've added on a little bit more gold compared to what they did have with the larger set. So if this is on the shelf in a couple of different ways, you can see what it will look like. And again, on the side, you have got the 50th anniversary Walt Disney just there. So moving on to the instruction booklet itself, hopefully it's got some nice bits and pieces on the inside. So we turn over straight in on the inside just here. It says, welcome to the Mini Disney Castle. So if I can put that flush and then try and get you up so we can have a better look. So we've got all the information just here. It says, welcome to the Lego Mini Disney Castle. And it tells you some different bits and pieces, but if you can see in the bottom left hand corner, it actually says contains over 565 Lego pieces. So that's always quite an interesting one, because they haven't given you the exact amount. And then it does say the actual Cinderella Castle, and then as you come down, obviously you can see all the little bits and pieces in there. It says it stands at 57.6 meters tall, which is 189 feet, and then it has all the bits and pieces with regards to what it's made of, and it was completed in July 1971. So it's always quite nice to see little bits and pieces like that with this. And then moving on to the inside, it looks like it's got different language, so I'm guessing that is just more information of what the castle is all about, which is obviously quite nice. And then it keeps going, so that's the first ever time I've seen all the different languages at the front. Then it looks like you've got bag number 1 and 2 for the base, and then 3 and 4 is the rest of it, and obviously you do start with the minifigure in bag number 1, so we'll get that open in a second. And then let's come over to the very, very back. Any other sets involved in the 50th or the 100th anniversary, because this came out before all of the current 100, so it does look like it finishes on page 144. And these steps are there, and it looks like it's step 157. And as per normal, just on the last couple of pages, you just have the actual SKU codes for all the bricks. So we are well underway in the building process, but we found a couple of Easter eggs already, starting with this one, which is the little Easter egg to 71040, which is the older of the Disney castles, and it does have the 16 plus on the box artwork just there, which I think that is a really, really nice, smart looking thing. Now, the other little Easter egg that they've added in already is they have got the shoes, and again, there's no stickers, it's all on the print, which is that bit just in there. So hopefully that's coming through on the camera okay. I'm halfway through bag number 1, but the reason why I'm showing you this now is I don't know is they just get hidden in the instruction booklet and it all gets covered. So you're supposed to know it's there, but we'll have a good hunt for it once the thing's actually built. And just like that, we are done, and what a thing this is. I'm glad I showed you the little Easter egg on the inside, which you cannot get to it at all. It is actually in there. Now if I bring the camera close enough and give it a little bit of a zoom, hopefully you might see that you can see the silhouette of some of the very, very small micro figures, and there's 3 little micro figures in there. So I think that does look very, very smart, and it detail that's on this thing is absolutely beautiful. But what we'll do to start with, as always, we'll have a look at the minifigure and then we'll compare this to one or two little bits and pieces as well. So this is the Mickey minifigure in question. Now what I do like about this is that you have got the nice big red dicky bow at the top, and obviously he's in sort of evening down wear. I do believe you can have a bite to eat in this castle. I think that is something that you can do. Now the print on the front I think looks very, very smart, and he has also got eyebrow printing on this one, whereas the other Mickeys I haven't seen that on yet before. Not that I'm a massive Mickey collector, but I have got two others to compare it to from the other Disney sets. Now as it wraps around at the bottom, you can see you've got the black print on the boot, which carries on the front, but on the inside of each leg it does not have the print on the inside, so you can see it there, and it does not carry on to the back. Now again, as you can see on the back, it is just completely plain. You've got the plain black back with the black sleeves and obviously the white bits, and then he's just plain on the back. But again, spinning it around onto the front, I think this one does look rather smart. Now if we just bring in the giveaway Mickey, you can see these side by side and just how different they are, even though they look like they should be exactly the same. But we'll start off with the eye print. The eye print is completely different on the front of these two. Hopefully that's coming through clearly enough if I just get my fingers out of the way and we do it like that. So the front, again, it almost looks like the nose is slightly different. The eyes are definitely different with regards to just the eyeball placement and the actual shape of the eyeballs as well. And then you can see on the Dicky Bow Mickey, you've got the eyebrows, which you don't have on the torso of the grey. And again, onto the side, then it becomes very, very similar with regards to the hands and the sleeves. And again, with this one, there is no printing on the back of either. I think the ears and things like that are there or thereabouts exactly the same. Now what I do like about this silver one, now hopefully it is going to pick it up because it's not, again, still not the best lighting in here yet. You have got this metal sort of flake on the back of his top on this one, which is obviously something that you don't have on this one. But I think they both look very, very smart. Now again, if we just bring in the train conductor, like I said, not the biggest Mickey collector ever, but we now have three to choose from. It almost looks like the headpiece on this one and this one are exactly the same, so they have the same sort of eyes. I think the nose is slightly different on this one as well. The smile I think looks there or thereabouts the same, I think. So we actually get them a little bit further back, so you might be able to see all three a little bit better. Let us know in the comments below which one you prefer. So obviously this is from the 4+ train, this is from the current giveaway purchase that you can get, and obviously this is exclusive to this set. And it is quite surprising, which I didn't realise, that they do have different facial features. So if you know of any others that are slightly different, again, let us know in the comments below, because it's not something that I'm massively aware of. Now it seems to be a going theme that this is the only one that does actually have printing on the legs, but as we spin it round onto the back, you can see that the one on the left, the middle, both have the printing on, whereas the black is obviously just plain, like it should be if it's an evening down. And then all three of them don't have any printing on the back, nor do any of them have printing on the sleeves, and they've all got their white gloves on. So again, let us know in the comments below which one you like, which one you prefer. Do you collect all of these? If you do, how do you put them on display? Because I think it would make quite a fancy display, to be honest. Now, what we'll do, we'll very carefully just get those out of the way, and then we'll move on to the castle itself. Now, again, what I do like is there are no stickers involved, and we did see that there was some really nice Easter eggs on the inside of this. So this, was correct with, that this is just one really nice piece. And with regards to this, it is obviously it's not a sticker, it is a nice print. Coming around and through, you can see you have got some really, really nice detail all on the front. What I will do is I'll put the camera right down and then I'll spin it around rather than trying to do it all confusing. But you can see you've got the really, really nice detail up at the top. All of these are sort of layered builds. There seems to be a lot of pieces for the size of this thing. It's one of those where it surprised me actually how many bricks this thing has with regards to how you've almost got to layer it off. Now if we go across with the bottom, again you can get some really, really nice angles with regards to where you can stand. The only thing I will say is it would have been quite nice if this had somewhere to stand. Now obviously it can stand on the table and that looks absolutely fine with regards to it being on display, but because of his head and his arms, unless I have a proper play with it, you can just see it's a bit of a struggle to try and get him to stand. Now unless I built something wrong, and there should be that should be pushed back a little bit so he can actually stand there, whereas on this one obviously you've got the overhang, so he can't stand on the front of that, and obviously the only other place that he could stand would be there, and then you just got to be careful, or you took the gold bit off and then he wouldn't fall over like that. But apart from that, I think it looks, well, it's spot on, isn't it? So I think just like that, it works really, really well. You just got, I always find it quite nice to attach the minifigure to the set in case you end up knocking the minifigure off. As we spin the set around, you can see all of the detail that is included within it, all up on the sides. You can see all of these different bits and pieces that are layered, and I really do like the trans blue that you've got up at the top, so I think that looks very, very smart. And then coming around to the back, you've then got the bits that you would just walk through, so these are the bits that you can walk through on the actual castle. And then as you're coming around onto the side, you then got all the other detail, and then you come in. So I can imagine some people mocking this with a little bit of water, because I don't know if all of them have water wrapped around it, but again, if we pick you up carefully and I keep you as steady as possible, you hopefully now can see just a bit. So you've got a little bit of lighting just on the inside at the bottom, you've got some more lighting just up on there, or clear shall I say, and then around onto the back you've got all these different windows. Now these things, if it is picking it up, hopefully it is, they've got like a purpley, a metal flake tinge to them, which I think looks very, very, very smart. And then again with this bit just here, you've got all of the really nice translucent blue, and it's almost like a deep purple depending on how you're looking at it. So depending on how it's coming through on the camera, and well, obviously whatever you're making of it through your own settings on your TV, it is either a blue or a very, very dark purple, and there is a large amount of sort of metal flake within the plastic, which I think looks very, very smart. So if you have picked this one up, again, let us know in the comments how you would display it. So we just quickly compare it to the float with the special guest appearance by the Joker. If I pan around, I guess you can now see, if I move the sail out of the way, just how nice that does actually look. So you can see that is the very, very top just there of the actual castle itself. So even though it's a micro scale thing, I think it works really, really well. And as we come through and round, if I just wrap this round it for you, I think you get an understanding of it. It's about half a train horseshoe shape. So it's one of those, it's really difficult to sort of go against it. I would class it as part of almost like a architectural range if you wanted to go that far. Now the other thing that I could try and do is if I just park one of the giveaway trucks out the front of it, because I know lots of you would have got this because this is quite a cool thing. That is how big the truck is, and obviously the castle store is above it. So even though the truck is absolutely enormous, I think if you were to have these on the shelf, for example, side by side, and you just wanted to make some sort of display, I don't think it would look silly with regards to the scale. I think that does work quite well. And the other thing we can use for scale is this. Now, if you have one of these, that is obviously the teeny tiny modular. And again, the castle is much, much bigger than it. It does actually take up a big footprint at the bottom. I was quite surprised, actually, how big the base of this was. And like I said, it's got a surprising amount of pieces for the actual scale of it. So there's a lot to it for this set. With regards to pieces, these are all the spare ones that you get. You've got a good selection. There's some translucent ones in there. You've got some other little bits and pieces that you can use with all that kind of thing. You don't get any spare crowbars, though. The crowbars are a pretty cool piece, especially with them being in gold. They're the bits and pieces that are right at the front. So if you didn't realise that these pieces here, they are actually crowbars upside down, which is attaching to it. But guys, that is it. I am done. So in the comments below, let us know what you think, and let us know if you've picked it up. I think it's definitely worth the money, and I think the price point is very, very good. Like I said, for the actual size, there seems to be a lot going on with regards to the amount of bricks. It feels like it's like quite a full set, which I know is a bit of a weird and wonderful thing to say. But comments below, let me know if you got it, or if it's on your list to get, because like I said, there is a huge back order for this, but I would highly recommend picking this one up if you can't get the big one, or you just don't have space. I think this is a beautiful little thing, and obviously with it being the 50th celebration as well, I think it works an absolute treat. But if you can like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I'll catch you next one. Ta-da.